What's up, Broncos Country? You know that moment when you feel something special just happened? That the family just witnessed a play that's going into the books? Well, hold on tight, because I've got a bombshell to drop about our quarterback, Bo Nix. On Christmas Day, right in Arrowhead Stadium, the Chiefs' house, he didn't just win. He made history in a way that very few have managed in the NFL. And I know you're all anxious to find out what went down. But first, let me tell you, what happened on that cold Missouri night is going to shut a lot of mouths out there. Stick with me until the end, because you can't miss this one. Man, let's get straight to the point. Christmas Day, Broncos versus Chiefs, a division classic. Everyone expected a tough game, and that's exactly what we got. But in the middle of all that intensity, with Kansas City wanting to prove they still run the AFC West, Bo Nix showed he's not here to play around. The kid played with courage, faced a fierce Chiefs defense, and even with ups and downs during the game, he delivered what the Denver Broncos family needed, a win. Now, you might be thinking, but he didn't have a perfect game, right? And you're right. Bo Nix had moments of difficulty. He was intercepted once, but look, even that has context. The interception came after a tipped pass, and linebacker Nick Bolton made a sensational play. It wasn't a gross error by our quarterback. It was just football happening at the highest level. And you know what matters most? Bo didn't let it shake him. He kept playing, kept leading, and when the team needed him in the second half, he was there, resilient, focused, determined to take the Broncos to another win. The game stats? Look, let's talk about them because it's important to understand the context. Bo Nix completed passes for 182 yards and 1 touchdown against the Chiefs' defense. His rating was 76.9, not the best of his career, I know. But let me ask you something. Broncos Country. How many games have we won this year? 13. And how many losses? 3. That's dominance. That's consistency. And Bo Nix is at the center of it all. But now comes the part that's going to blow your mind. Brace yourself, family, because what I'm about to say here is going to show you the size of the talent we have commanding our offense. With his performance against the Chiefs, Bo Nix became just the third quarterback in NFL history to throw for 25 or more touchdowns and accumulate 3,500 or more yards in each of his first 2 seasons in the league. Let that sink in for a second. Only 3 quarterbacks in history have done this. And you know who the other 2 are? Peyton Manning back in 98 and 99, and Justin Herbert in 2020 and 2021. That's right, people. Bo Nix is on the same list as one of the greatest of all time and one of the brightest young talents in the league today. Let's talk specific numbers because numbers don't lie. Broncos Country. In this 2025 season, Bo Nix has already accumulated 3,790 passing yards. That's more than he got in his rookie season. He's already thrown 25 touchdowns, and he's just 4 away from matching last season's 29. And look, we still have games left. Oh, and there's more. He's already surpassed his rushing touchdown total from last year, with 5 this season, totaling 30 total touchdowns. 30! That's elite production, family. That's a quarterback who's evolving before our eyes. And let me tell you something, Bo Nix's campaign in 2025 has been full of ups and downs, moments of brilliance and challenges. But you know what hasn't changed? The consistency of his production. Week after week, Bo Nix is there, doing what needs to be done for the team to win. And that's no small thing. There are plenty of experienced quarterbacks out there who can't maintain this level of performance throughout an entire season. Now, I want you to pay attention to this because it's important. Sean Payton, our head coach, was asked about Bo Nix and about the season, and you know what he said? That Bo fulfilled his number 1 job as the team's quarterback, winning games. Simple as that. And look, coming from Sean Payton, one of the most respected coaches in the NFL, that's no small compliment. Payton knows what excellence is. He coached Drew Brees. He won a Super Bowl. And he's saying Bo Nix is doing his job the right way. And speaking of Sean Payton, family, our coach also did something special on that Christmas Day. With the win over the Chiefs, Peyton joined Bill Belichick as the only coaches in NFL history to record 5 or more seasons with 13 or more wins. That's legendary Broncos country. Peyton is in the same conversation as the guy who won 6 Super Bowls with the Patriots, and he achieved this here, with our family, with our team. When Peyton was asked about this milestone, he was humble, said he was lucky to coach incredible players and work with talented coaches. But look, we know it's not just luck. It's hard work, it's planning, it's game vision, and Sean Payton has that in spades. He brought a winning culture to Denver, and we're reaping the fruits of that now. Now, let's talk playoffs, because that's what we're playing for, right? With the win over the Chiefs, the Broncos reached a record of 13 wins and 3 losses. And you know what that means? We're in total control of the AFC West. The division crown is practically guaranteed. Plus, we're in the direct fight for the number 1 seed in the conference, which would give us home field advantage throughout the entire postseason. Imagine that, family, the playoffs going through Empower Field at Mile High with our deafening crowd supporting the team. That's the dream becoming reality. And there's more. Thanks to the win over Kansas City, we have a chance to clinch the division title as early as Saturday. That's right, Broncos Country, on Saturday. All we need is for the Houston Texans to beat the Los Angeles Chargers at home. If that happens, the AFC West is ours without even having to take the field. But look, being realistic here, Bo Nix himself said he's not counting on that. He's already mentally preparing to face Jim Harbaugh's Chargers in the final week of the regular season with everything on the line. And you know what? I love that mentality. Not depending on anyone, doing our job, controlling what's under our control. Bo was pretty straightforward in the post-game interview. He said that at the end of the day, none of this matters if we don't win the final game. The Chargers are going to be a tough opponent, and the game will be practically an early playoff. But the advantage is ours. We'll be playing at home in our house with our crowd. And Bo is excited about that. He said it's going to be an incredible atmosphere, practically playoff-like. And look, he hasn't beaten the Chargers in his career yet, so that's extra motivation for him to prove his worth. Now, I know there are a lot of people out there, a lot of critics, who are going to look at the game against the Chiefs and say, "Oh, but Bo Nix didn't pass for 200 yards. And you know what I say to those people? Screw the yards. Seriously, Broncos country. In football, what matters is winning. And we won. Bo Nix led a second-half comeback, kept the team in the game when needed, and delivered the win. That's what a quarterback does. He doesn't need to have spectacular numbers every week. He needs to win. And Bo's doing that. Some people are going to be dissatisfied because the game was close, because we needed a comeback, because the Chiefs, even short-handed, gave us trouble. But look, football is like that. Not every game is going to be a blowout. Sometimes you need to suffer, need to sweat, need to show character to get the result. And that's exactly what our team did at Arrowhead. With Bo Nix leading the offense, we showed resilience, showed mental strength, and came out of there with the win. And speaking of critics, let's be honest here, there's always going to be someone wanting to diminish what Bo Nix is doing. There's always going to be someone saying he's not good enough, that he was picked too late in the draft, that he doesn't have the talent to be a starting quarterback in the NFL. But you know what these records he broke at Arrowhead prove? That these people are completely wrong. Bo Nix is special. He's doing things that only legends like Peyton Manning have done, and he's just getting started. Think about it, family. 2 years of career? 2 years! And he's already breaking records, already leading a team to a 13-3 record, already taking the Broncos back to the playoffs after years in the desert. This isn't coincidence. This isn't luck. This is pure talent combined with hard work, dedication, and the will to win. And I'll tell you something else. The best is yet to come. Bo Nix is just scratching the surface of what he can do. He's learning, growing, evolving as a player every week. Imagine what he'll be in 2, 3, 5 years. Imagine when he has the experience of multiple playoff runs, when he knows every detail of Sean Payton's system like the back of his hand. The sky's the limit for this kid, Broncos Country. And it's not just about Bo Nix. It's about the whole team. It's about the defense that's holding opponents. It's about the running game that's working. It's about the offensive line that's protecting our quarterback. It's about the receivers who are making crucial plays. But at the center of it all is Bo Nix, the leader, the guy who touches the ball on practically every offensive play, the guy who needs to make split-second decisions that can define the outcome of the game. And he's rising to the challenge. Now let's talk a bit about what's ahead. Like I said, the final week against the Chargers is going to be epic. If Houston doesn't do their job against Los Angeles on Saturday, then it'll be all or nothing at our house. And you know what? I wouldn't want it any other way. I want it to be like this. I want to see our team win the division title with their own hands in front of our crowd against a direct rival. That would be poetic. That would be perfect. And after that comes the postseason, the playoffs, the moment every player dreams of, the moment every fan waits for all year. And we're going to be there, Broncos Country. After years of watching other teams fighting for the title, we're finally going to be back at the dance. And with Bo Nix commanding the offense, with Sean Payton designing the plays, and with our defense playing at the level it is, I believe we can go far, very far. But one thing at a time, right? First, we need to secure that seed. We need to finish the regular season the right way. We need to maintain focus, intensity, and keep doing what brought us here, winning games. And I'll be honest with you, I'm proud of this team. I'm proud of Bo Nix. I'm proud of Sean Payton. I'm proud of every player wearing the orange and blue jersey. Because they're bringing pride back to this franchise, they're making the Denver Broncos family dream again. And that's priceless. So when you see someone criticizing Bo Nix, when you hear some commentator saying he's not good enough, you can simply remind that person of the facts. Remind them that Bo Nix is on the same list as Peyton Manning and Justin Herbert. Remind them that he's leading a 13-3 team. Remind them that he's doing this at 24 years old, in just his second season in the league. And after that, you don't need to say anything more. The numbers speak for themselves. Oh, and before I forget, if you're true Broncos Country, if you bleed orange and blue, then subscribe to the channel right now. Don't miss any news, any analysis, any play from our team. We're here every day bringing quality content to the family. So let's strengthen this community. And look, I know some people are going to say I'm being too optimistic, that I'm exaggerating expectations. But you know what? I don't care. After years of suffering, lost seasons, disappointments, we deserve to dream. We deserve to believe. And with this team, with this quarterback, with this coach, we have every reason to do so. Bo Nix still has a lot to prove, of course. He needs to win playoff games. He needs to show he can perform in the highest pressure moments when everything's on the line. But I believe in him. I believe because I've already seen what he's capable of doing. I've seen his coolness in critical moments. I've seen his leadership in the locker room. I've seen the will to win that burns inside him. And that can't be taught, Broncos Country. That comes from within. And speaking of winning, let's appreciate what this team has already accomplished this year. 13 wins. 13. When was the last time the Broncos had a season like this? It's been a while, family. A long while. And now, we're here, on the verge of winning, not just the division title, but potentially the #1 seed in the entire AFC. This is surreal. This is incredible. Sean Payton deserves a lot of credit, too. The guy came here and completely transformed the team's mentality. He brought discipline, brought strategy, brought a culture of excellence. And the results are there for everyone to see. 5 seasons with 13 or more wins throughout his career. Only he and Bill Belichick have done that. And look, Belichick is considered one of the greatest coaches of all time. So yes, we have a special coach, family, and the chemistry between Payton and Nix is getting better and better. You'd notice it watching the games. The trust they have in each other. The way Bo executes the game plan. The way Payton adjusts strategies to maximize the quarterback's strengths. It's a partnership that's working out very well and promises to get even better with time. Now, talking about the Chiefs game specifically, let's acknowledge that Kansas City didn't make it easy. They came to play. They fought until the end. And that makes our win even more impressive. Winning at the Chiefs' house, even though they were short-handed, is never easy. Arrowhead Stadium is one of the most hostile environments in the NFL. Their crowd is loud, passionate, and does everything to destabilize the visiting team. But we didn't get rattled. We kept our composure, made the necessary adjustments, and came out of there with the win. That shows maturity, Broncos Country. That shows this team is ready for the playoffs. The interception Bo suffered could have been a defining moment of the game, a moment that would completely change the course of the match. But it wasn't. Why? Because Bo didn't let it. He came back even stronger, even more focused. He led the team in the second half, commanded important drives, and made the plays that needed to be made. That's the character of a winner. That's what separates the good from the great. And let's talk about the upcoming challenges. The Chargers won't be easy. Jim Harbaugh is a winning coach, and he'll prepare his team to give everything in that game. But we have the advantage of playing at home. We have the advantage of having the best fans in the NFL on our side. And we have Bo Nix, who's playing the best football of his life. So yes, I'm confident. I believe we're going to win that game and secure the division title in the most glorious way possible. And then come the playoffs. That's another competition. That's knockout. One game at a time, single elimination, the pressure increases, mistakes are costly, and only the best survive. But I look at this team and see talent. I see experience in the right positions. I see a quarterback who's not afraid of the moment. I see a coach who's already won a Super Bowl. I see all the necessary ingredients to make a deep postseason run. Of course, nothing is guaranteed. Football's unpredictable. Any team can win on any given day. But what I can say is that we're prepared. We did our homework throughout the season. We faced adversity, overcame challenges, and got here with a 13-3 record. This isn't an accident. This is a reflection of a well-trained, well-led team committed to excellence. So Denver Broncos family, enjoy this moment. Savor this phase. Because moments like this are rare. Moments like this need to be celebrated. We have a special team, a special quarterback, and a real chance to do something great this season. Don't let anyone steal this joy from you. Don't let critics diminish what we're achieving. We are Broncos Country, and we're back. So what do you guys think? Has Bo Nix already silenced the critics, or are there still stubborn people out there? Do you believe we're going to win the division title in the final week? How far do you think this team can go in the playoffs? Comment below. I want to know each one of your opinions. Leave a like if you're excited about this season. Share this video with all the Denver Broncos fans you know. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any content. See you in the next video, family. Let's go together toward the title.